Well, that was unfortunate that we weren't able to respond to a tough loss on Saturday with a better effort today. And, we've have struggled all year long. It's no secret with teams that have pressured us and we're able to pressure the ball. And in the first half again today, we really struggled with 12 turnovers down there or up there. When we played them the first game, we had 17 in the first half. So that's 29 possessions in 40 minutes of basketball that you don't even get a shot up. That's, really puts you in a difficult situation. I thought early, we started off, we scored the first 2 baskets of the game, and then defensively, I don't know exactly what the number was, but I think we got 5 straight stops to start the game. And instead of extending that lead to 7, 8, 9, we turned the ball over 4 straight times. So, disappointed in our response, and you just got to, we have tomorrow off. This has been a tough stretch again with some of the injuries and different things with this 3 games in the 6 days. Guys logging a lot of minutes, and so a day off tomorrow and get back to work on Thursday.
Coach, in the first half, you pretty much contained Young and Booker. You did a good job on them. Points were down. But unfortunately, it's the same little bugaboo, put the ball in the hole.
Yeah, when and it's hard. You got to give the guys a little slack because defensively, because it's hard to keep going back and trying to get stops when you're not scoring any points at all. I think they had, the numbers are skewed, but I think they scored 5 points in transition and had 6 points on second chance points in the first half, and that was 11 of their 27. So I think they scored 16 points against our half court defense. But with our 12 turnovers, again, that's 12 possessions that you don't even get a shot up. Against pressure, you have to do 3 different things. You got to be able to break them down off the dribble, which we struggle to do. You got to be able to, hurt them on, cuts and screening, which we were getting better at. We didn't do as good a job today, or you need to be able to throw the ball in the post. And, again, our best action was when we got the ball in the post. At the same time, sometimes our post players rushed a little bit also. So, it's just something that, we've been working on and so forth, but it's, we have to get a lot better at that.
When they throw it into Daniel sometimes, it looks like he turns to face up as opposed to backing his man down. I mean, is he more comfortable facing up to the basket, or?
At times, it depends on where he catches the ball in the post. I mean, we would like him. I would personally like him to shuffle dribble if he can't score right away off the touch, the shuffle dribble and look to score on every play.
It seemed like you were having trouble, like when you run off screens, exploiting those double teams, and just like they were exploiting screens in general.
Yeah, I mean, they trapped us or they put the pressure on us, and we weren't able to get that ball reversed and move that ball. We held on to the ball a little too long sometimes, we're not able to get them stretched and then attack inside like when we've done it well. That's what we've been able to do.
It looked like a lot of guys just didn't have the legs.
I think we were a little sapped on the juice department. There's no doubt about that. Jason, obviously, give that kid credit. Banged up a little bit, probably a little more than a little bit, and gave it a go. Once the doctor says, it's fine, it's healing, can't cause any more damage to it. Now it's up to you, Jason, whatever you can tolerate. That was, again, a guy who's trying to give everything he has. So, but you could tell he was slowed. He wasn't, didn't have that explosiveness. Had a couple good looks early. That would have maybe made that foot feel better if they went in, but unfortunately they didn't.
I'm sorry, is it a sprain or a strain? Or what is it?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I don't. It's a foot.
Okay. Not the ankle.
Yeah, it's not the ankle. It's the foot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. They just tell me if he can go or not. I don't know all the terminology.
Cam showed some flashes of what he's capable of doing in the low post.
When Cam is slowed down and plays under control in there and with some poise, he's really becoming a excellent low post scorer for us, because he's one of the few guys, he doesn't have to get the ball necessarily right on the low post in order to score. He can play in that long post area. The one thing we need to get Cam to do is to slow down a little bit. The 4 turnovers I think that's the second straight game where he's had 4 turnovers. But other than that, he was great on the offensive glass. Both him and Daniel were tremendous on the offensive glass. Again, there's some markers that show if a team is playing hard, and you get 15 offensive rebounds, it's hard to get on the guys for not playing with some effort. It's just we have some obvious flaws that certain systems are able to exploit, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
It was 16-13, and I think you had 7 or 8 possessions in a row. You didn't score, and then allowed them to get away a little bit. From what you remember of those possessions, I know there were some turnovers and just some missed shots. What happened?
Yeah, again, we've gone on some of those spells where we, but I think it was I think again their pressure really got to us at that particular time. I think I called a timeout in one of those two, or there was a timeout, and we talked about that. We just didn't make some good decisions at that time, and again, if you have 18 turnovers and 5 assists, you're not making good decisions with the basketball.
Do you have a timetable for Glenn Rice?
No.
Okay. You met with him recently, or was that just something?
Yeah, that's again, that's a team situation that stays within the team. So, just talked about that before. That's kind of how we handle it.
Second half, you cut the turnovers in half.
Couldn't make a shot.
Yeah, Clemson went through a stretch where they
Yeah.
tried to allow you to get back in the game, but you just couldn't hit those shots.
I mean, I thought, and it'll be interesting to watch, and be interesting to see. I thought we got some really good looks the first 8 minutes of the second half. We just couldn't make them. I think at one time we brought the team. There was a timeout. We brought the team in, and all 5 guys sitting on the benches or on the chairs. I asked them, were you open on that shot? All 5 guys said yes, and Mufan, who was just taken out, had just missed an open shot, and he was 6. And I said, we just got to keep doing that then, and we'll make them. And unfortunately, that never happened. We just couldn't make it. We took care of the ball much better in the second half, but we shot 25%.
It was down the stretch, but Julian showed some of his athleticism towards the end of the game.
Yeah, we got him some open, set up some actions to get him some open looks too from the 3, because he's been shooting very well from there. The only thing that concerns me about Julian is he played 20 minutes and didn't get 1 defensive rebound, and that's impossible. You have to be more engaged on the defensive end of the court, especially against Clemson. And that's, that comes with youth and inexperience. We need that same effort. He got 4 offensive rebounds. We need that same effort on the defensive end as well. But there's no doubt that is he a completely different player than he was in the beginning of the year? Is he much better, understands how to play at this level, and does a lot of good things? It's not, the answer to that is yes. So, Again, the development of Julian and Cam and Daniel over the stretch of this season has been tremendous. And but they need to help us in these games too against that pressure. Our big guys have to help us even more. So.
As the team grows over the coming years and you start building your depth again, is he someone that could play someplace other than the four?
Who's that?
Julian?
I won't answer that question because who knows. But the thing is, with players, it's not what position you can play, it's what position you can defend. Because you can play whatever position you want, but if you can't guard that guy on the other end of the court, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter unless you're Kevin Durant, and I ain't seen him walk through here.
Brian, the game against Virginia obviously was tough, to coach and to be a part of. Did you think you could possibly get to a point where you had 37 points? But I mean, then again, you don't have Glenn. You're playing a couple of walk-on guys. It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, But we just scored 80, and I knew there was going to be nights where we were going to struggle to score points, and I also knew that it takes very strong individuals on those nights to continue to battle defensively and on the glass and different things like that, and there's been a couple times where we haven't done it on the other end too. And there's been a couple times where we've been able to stay in games, even with when we played Maryland. We shot, offensively we were atrocious, but defensively we were able to hang in there. And with 5 minutes to go, it was a one possession game, So, but if you also take a look at the personnel and you take a look at the overall picture, you knew there was going to be some offensive games where no matter what. And what we've done is, used our defense and our rebounding at times to be able to hang in there. And sometimes you can't. And again, teams that play, and I can say it because if you're coaching, it's not that hard to figure out. If they want to press and trap us, we got enough in place that we've been successful against those teams of VCU, for example. But just solid man-to-man pressure where they get into you, we've struggled all year long against every one of those teams.
Obviously, I think most fans were expecting this year was going to be rough, for a variety of reasons. What would you tell someone that looks at this score and then wonders, what's happening with this team? And wants to believe that,
Well, you can't just take a look at one game and try to evaluate that, because hopefully that same person looked at Saturday's game or, other games or whatever the case might be, and you're able to see that, our guys are getting better. We shorthanded, tonight and so forth, and, we struggle to make plays. And we just got to keep getting the guys better, keep having them play hard, and keep plugging away.